that there was nothing that they could do if they wanted to be free except to revolt.
Kill enough whites and then gain their freedom.
Because the violence of slaveholder repression produces the violence of slave reaction.
Close your eyes. Manhattan fades, subways stop, traffic dies, voices fall silent. Open them. You're standing on a narrow dirt street in Lower Manhattan. Winter 1741. The city is tiny. 11,000 souls packed into the southern tip of the island. Everything north of Wall Street is farms and forest. Buildings lean close. Wooden structures with steep roofs to shed snow. Smoke rises from every chimney. The air smells of burning wood, horse manure, and salt water from the harbour. You notice 1 in every 5 faces belongs to someone who owns nothing, not even themselves. This is a slave city, the North's largest, and everyone here lives under the same unspoken terror. That one spark in these wooden streets could burn everything. That one word, one accusation could end your life. March is coming. By August, 34 people will be dead, hanged from gallows, burned alive at stakes. Was there really a conspiracy to destroy New York? Or did paranoia create monsters where none existed? This is New York's witch hunt, and it starts with smoke. March 18th, afternoon. Inside Fort George at Manhattan's southern tip, servants prepare dinner. Soldiers patrol the walls, everything routine. Then someone smells smoke. The fire starts in the roof. A spark from a chimney maybe. Nobody knows. But the wind is strong, blowing in from the harbour. Within minutes, flames spread. The roof collapses. Fire leaps to the chapel, the barracks, the secretary's office. By nightfall, Fort George is a skeleton. Charred walls, smoking ruins. The governor lost everything. Furniture, clothes, government records, the colony's entire supply of weapons and gunpowder. All ash. People stand in frozen streets watching orange light dance across harbour ice, their breath visible in the cold. Accident, probably. Old building. Dry wood. Winter fires happen. Except this isn't the last fire. Over the next 4 weeks, 9 more will break out across the city, and New York will convince itself that someone is trying to burn them all alive. 1 fire is bad luck. 2 fires is strange. 10 fires is war. A warehouse near the docks. A merchant's storehouse on Broad Street. A barn. Another barn. A shed. Each time the alarm bell rings, people drop everything and run. Buckets, blankets, shovels. April 6th is the worst day. 4 separate fires in different parts of the city within hours. That's not coincidence. That's intentional. The night after, nobody sleeps. Fire, the most terrifying word in a wooden city. Shouted in darkness, it means grab your children and run. Neighbors start watching neighbors. Every enslaved person walking the streets draws stares. Every African face becomes a potential arsonist in white minds. The Common Council calls an emergency session. Daniel Horsmanden, recorder of the city, justice on the Supreme Court, assembles a grand jury. They need answers. They need someone to blame. And on April 21st, they find her. A 16-year-old girl who works in a tavern. Her name is Mary Burton. Mary Burton is 16 years old. An indentured servant, basically a slave with a contract that expires in a few years. She works for John Hewson, who runs a tavern near Trinity Church, the kind of place where enslaved people gather on Sundays, where sailors drink cheap rum, where nobody asks too many questions. When the court summons her, she refuses to come. A constable drags her in. Horsemanden notes she appears under some great uneasiness or terrible apprehensions. She's terrified. They ask about the fires. Nothing. They ask about stolen goods fenced through the tavern. She admits she's seen enslaved people bringing silver candlesticks, fancy cloth. Horsemanden pushes harder. Answer or join the slaves in the dungeon. Maybe burn with them. But tell us what we need, and we'll free you from your indenture, give you money, freedom, or prison. Finally, she breaks. She says she overheard slaves at Hewson's tavern talking about burning the fort, burning the whole city, killing white people, taking over New York and making it theirs. The courtroom goes dead silent. Mary Burton just gave them their conspiracy. John Hewson's tavern sits in the shadow of Trinity Church. Inside, on Sundays and holidays, enslaved Africans gather, one of the few places they can. They pool money, buy real meals. They drink, play cards, dance to fiddle music. Some nights, they draw a chalk circle on the floor and swear oaths inside it, ceremonies that echo West African Akan traditions. For people who own nothing, who are owned, this tavern is a rare pocket of something like freedom. But according to Mary Burton, it's also where the conspiracy was born. She names names: John Hewson and his wife, Sarah. Peggy Carey, a prostitute they call the Newfoundland Beauty. And enslaved men, Caesar, Prince, Cuffy, Quack. She says they met here, planned here, that Hewson promised them freedom if they'd burn the city. Is she telling the truth? Or is she a scared teenager saying whatever keeps her out of the dungeon? The grand jury believes her. Warrants are issued immediately. Caesar and Prince arrested first, then the Hewsons, then Peggy, then more enslaved people. The arrests spread like the fires did, and once they start, nobody can stop them.
Wait, what have I done?
May 2nd. Caesar and Prince stand trial for burglary. Guilty. Sentenced to death. The next day, 7 barns catch fire across the city. A mob grabs 2 black men found near the flames. No trial. No judge. They burn both men at the stake in the street. The smell of burning flesh drifts across the city. In the dungeon below City Hall, enslaved people wait in darkness, chained. Horsemanden visits them daily. Confess. Name others. Maybe you'll live. Stay silent and you burn. Death or betrayal. Most choose betrayal. May 11th. Caesar and Prince are hanged. They never confessed, never named anyone. They died maintaining their innocence. Their bodies are left hanging as warnings. But their deaths don't slow the trials. They accelerate them. Confessions pour in. Every confession names new conspirators. The machine feeds itself. June 12th. John and Sarah Hewson and Peggy Carey are hanged. Their bodies aren't buried. They're gibbeted, hung in iron cages along the road into the city, left to rot as warnings. The smell is unbearable. By midsummer, 161 black people have been arrested, 20 whites. Accusations grow wilder, more desperate. Then a white schoolteacher named John Uri is arrested. They say he's a secret Catholic priest offering religious absolution to slaves who agree to burn Protestant New York. Being Catholic is nearly as dangerous as being black in this courtroom. The web keeps spreading. Merchants, church elders, names that matter. That's when people start questioning. Because if everyone is guilty, maybe no one is. Some judges grow uncomfortable. Citizens whisper doubts. The fever begins breaking, but slowly, only after the blood has been spilled. August 29th, John Uri is led to the gallows. He prays, forgives his accusers, maintains his innocence to the end. He is the last person New York will execute for the conspiracy. The math is brutal. 17 black men burned at the stake, 13 more hanged, 2 white men hanged, 2 white women hanged, 70 enslaved people deported to brutal Caribbean plantations. A slow death sentence. The city tries to return to normal, but normal is gone. September 2nd, 1742. More than a year after she first testified, the Common Council pays Mary Burton her reward, £81, a fortune more than most labourers see in 5 years, enough to buy her freedom and start a new life. She takes the money and vanishes. No marriage record, no death record, no property transactions, no trace of Mary Burton in colonial records after that payment. The girl whose words killed 34 people simply disappears from history. Did she feel guilt? Did she know what she'd unleashed? What we know is this. Her testimony was inconsistent. She changed details between court appearances, added names when judges pressed her. Physical evidence of an actual conspiracy? Almost none. Some stolen goods, a few overheard conversations, no written plans, no weapons cache, no coordinated attack that ever happened. Just fires, some likely accidental, and the words of a frightened teenage girl. Salem had witches. New York had conspirators. Both were monsters created by fear. Both were likely innocent. New York moved on from 1741. The city grew, spread north, became the commercial heart of a new nation. Millions walked those streets without knowing what happened there. But the questions never left. Was there a real conspiracy? Some scholars believe a small group did plan something. Not the citywide apocalypse Horsemandan imagined, but resistance. A fire to create chaos. A chance to escape north. Others see only hysteria. A colonial witch hunt fueled by racism, class resentment, and political ambition. The truth likely lives somewhere between. What's undeniable is this. The trials exposed how fragile colonial society was, how violence simmered beneath the surface, how a city built on slavery lived in perpetual terror of the people it enslaved. And if enslaved people did plan rebellion, can you even call it conspiracy? Or is it resistance? New York, 1741, doesn't offer easy answers. It offers a mirror. It shows what happens when fear outweighs evidence, when power decides truth, when some lives are valued less than others. The fires Horsemandan claim to fight are long extinguished, the bodies long buried or lost. But the questions burn on. And maybe that's the real conspiracy, that we still don't know. Which forgotten mystery should we uncover next? Comment below and subscribe for more lost history.